I'm here to tell you guys about how I quit my job. I just quit without a plan. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, I'm here to tell you why I resigned. I'm not here to encourage you to leave your job, but I'm gonna tell you why I left my job, why it was time for me to remorse. What I'm trying to get out of this video is for you to take steps towards learning yourself, learning your journey, and being aware, and to pursue growth, I guess. When I'm trying to record, can you guys hear that? I'm so demotivated. Guys, living in this race is actually quite a nightmare because I can hear my neighbor's music. If you watched my second previous vlog from this one, you guys will know that I went through a life-changing phase in life, and one of them led me to resign from my job. And I gave you guys a summary, so I'm not going to repeat myself on this video because who wants to hear the same thing twice, right? Me too. I also don't like it. The resignation process itself was not the smoothest. There were so many problems at work, and they had been piling up, you guys, and I'm not sure if this is confidential information, but I was being underpaid legally. I was being underpaid because there were other problems. It led me to recognize that I actually am deserving of the amount I signed for in the contract, and took steps to try and get that money back. And that process was not smooth, and things escalated at the end of my exit interview, if I may say. And all of those things just led up. I wouldn't say that I was depressed at work, but my job also became very unfulfilling. I'm sorry if I keep looking away. I'm kind of shy talking about this because this really happened. Okay, anyway, let me look at you and tell you. It was very unfulfilling at some point, the work that I did, and I felt like I was being limited. Like I could be good, but also I was very limited, not too good. And if I was too good, then I'm being overworked because I was not going to be paid accordingly. And on top of that, I was already being underpaid legally. So all of those things happening. And also, to be quite honest, I always wanted to go back to school. My employer knew this when they employed me, but somehow when I raised it to them that I've been accepted at UCT, can I please go to Cape Town and work at the branch that's in the Western Cape? They said, nah. I said, bye. Because what do you mean you can't support my career? I didn't even ask them to pay for my fees. I just asked them to keep me, but also allow me to be based in Cape Town. And they were like, no, we can't. You need to be here. And I was like, okay, well, bye, because I need to go back to school. They knew that I wanted to further my studies. It was time. They're saying they couldn't support me, but I needed to go to school. And also it was an instruction from God. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna go too biblical about it, but it was an instruction from God. Considering the purpose that he had placed for me, I needed to go to school. Okay, it was not an easy decision, I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't easy, but I had to weigh out my options. Will I be able to serve the purpose that God wants me to serve, given that I'm in the space that my work puts me in financially, socially, emotionally, etc.? The answer was no. So I had to make the big girl decision and put in my notice. And I did this at the end of the year last year, on the 31st of December. I told them that I'm serving notice effective the 2nd of January, the 1st of January, which was a holiday. But I said, well, it's not my problem. According to the acts that bind this contract, I can take leave on a Monday. Well, I can serve notice on a holiday, and it does count towards the 30 days that I will be serving. Resigned. It was very scary, I'm not gonna lie. It was very scary, and I'm not gonna lie, at the time I didn't have too many savings because I had just moved to Lanseria, furnished a 2-bedroom apartment that is so far away from everything. I was moving from a very small apartment that didn't have much, so I spent a lot of money furnishing that apartment. I saw it as an investment because the pieces that I bought were quality, at least quality for someone who earned as much as I did. Realizing that I had to let go most of it was the most painful thing in the whole process for me. Having to let go literally everything, basically. The only thing that I fought to keep was my mattress, because it was so hard buying that damn mattress, and my bed frame, because it's so precious to me. It's the cutest thing ever. I would rather courier it to KZN. I can't sell that bed. It's so cute. It's from Cielo. Anyone can get it, but I just feel like that's my bed. So that's the only thing I hung on to. Everything else I was ready to shed off. I put my things in storage. I packed my work gear from home back to the office. I said bye. there's a couple of conflict moments that happened right after that happened with my employer, which proved to me what's like you guys are very, very weird towards me, and God knows why. They were just extremely weird to me in so many ways, but because we're going to the part where I'm moving to Cape Town. So I take my little peanuts car and then we drive to Cape Town. It took us a day and a half, and I slept at Colesberg, gave myself a mini holiday, and then I got to Cape Town. Did she have a place to stay? No, she did not. I rented, guys. When I came to Cape Town in 2021, it was not as expensive as it was when I got here. Like, I remember spending around 5,000 rands for 14 days in Cape Town, including discounts, of course. But this time around, I spent 6.3 in 1 week for Airbnb. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I did not believe the amount of money I was bleeding out at the beginning of this year, until I decided I'm going to sleep in my car, because there's no way that I'm spending 1K per night for a place to sleep. It's not worth it. I said I'm going to sleep in my car. It is fine. I'll shower in public bathrooms. And that's exactly what I did. I know it sounds sad, but don't worry. Wits is worse. The struggle at Wits is worse. The struggle at Wits is worse, incomparable, unbearable. No human should ever go through that. Went to classes, lived in the car, bought food on campus. That was the cycle. And in nights where I felt like my back was, and I'll insert pictures if I can find them. Some nights I decided that I'm just gonna rent out a place, then I would pay that 1K per night. I'd go for a holiday in Muizenberg, and these were the cheapest places. Like Muizenberg and Hout Bay were the cheapest places to live in. Closer to campus was 2K, 3K. Camps Bay, obviously. Town was sharing, and I was not gonna share a dormitory of 17 people. That is ghetto. I'd rather sleep in the car. I know, because sleeping in the car is more ghetto than sharing a dormitory. But guys, a double bunk bed, I told myself I can't. Like, there's things I've prayed away, and sharing a sleeping space with a stranger is something that's not gonna happen to me. And those were around 500 rand per night. 500 rands for a double bunk bed, single, with a stranger on top of you or below you. I saw it at my big age. But we pride, guys. My final straw was the day I had a lecture, and people, I think it was the last day of lectures, and people were just speaking about, oh, I can't wait to go rest, just want to sleep. It was at the end of block week, and I was like, y'all have a place to sleep and I don't get to stretch my legs because I sleep at 90 degrees because my car was full of things. I'll show you guys a picture of it. I was fed up. I went to student housing and I said, Buddhi, do you see this blood? I overflew on myself. Like, I was bleeding and I didn't have pads and I didn't have a change of clothes, because this is kind of emotional, but I'm not gonna cry. I didn't have a change of clothes because all my clothes were kind of dirty, the ones that were close by, and I didn't have a place to go wash them. And I had taken them to the laundromat, but they robbed my clothes, like, and they ripped me off. Like, I spent so much money with laundromat. Point is, I went to student housing bleeding with visible blood stains on me, but also I did need that for the drama, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, I need people to see how bad my situation is. So I went to student housing as I was, and I said, Buddhi, I don't have funding, I'm almost out of money, I need a place to stay, I've been sleeping in a car. I will get a job eventually, and I will pay for all the debts that I'm creating for myself academically, but I need you to trust me and put me into the residence system right now. And he said, oh, okay, we are only left with space in this race. I said, give it to me. So he gave me race, and on the same day I went back to class and I reported, sorry for missing class, because you can't miss block week. Sorry for missing class, but I had to go find a place to stay. On the following day I moved in. This is where I live right now, but it wasn't exactly this room, it was another one. So I upgraded into this one because that one was the ghetto. And to me it was like, why did I panic and rely on my finances so much? This is the very same thing I was saying on the previous video, that I used to depend so much on my finances. Like, I was like, there's nothing that my money can't buy, until God taught me that you need to just put faith in me and then take steps. After speaking to me, like, trust me with your walk, trust me with your conversations, trust me with everything, and I'll deliver. It really was a faith move, me leaving class, because I could have got into trouble for missing class, and also I could have not gotten the raise. But I was just like, God, you know my situation, you know I'm bleeding on myself, but oh, please give me a raise. And he said, okay. And I was like, why didn't I do that in the morning? Why didn't I do that 2 days ago when I was struggling? But anyway, we move in, and now it's time for me to process my order. There's a business to run. Initially, I was running the business from the car. I had a sale where I cleared out all my things because I needed money. I cleared out all the stock I had because I needed money, capital, to kind of rebrand my business to make it more appealing so that I get more orders in a way. So I had that very big sale. I think things were almost 50% off. Some were 50%, 60% off. Basically, I was giving things for free, and that little money I got, I did the rebranding. But the mistake I did was to make and keep stock. Oh, when I think about this, it makes me sick, because why do I make and keep stock? Why not just keep money and process the order as the money comes? Because do you see how small this place is? When an order comes in, I need to process it as it comes, post payment, rather than keeping my money in the form of stock that's not going to sell, because my things are customizable, which is another reason why I think I need to standardize all my products, so that when I have stock, I know it's guaranteed. This is the only way someone can show me support, by buying these things. So from next year, I will be standardizing, because having so many variations to my products costs me. It costs me in so many ways. But anyway, chat for another day. The biggest problem I had is I wasn't seeing my money. Money was circulating, but it was never staying with me. Basically, that was the thing. And I prayed to God about this. I was like, God, please. And God was like, you need to fix your finances, because you don't even know what came in, what came out. You don't have a system to manage the orders. You don't know the value of your business. So then I was like, do I need to take a business course now on top of all the courses I'm doing? And God was like, just like a financial transactional journal. What comes in, what's there, what do you spend, what's left, how much do you tithe, and what's left afterwards. So I needed to build that structure. If you guys want information on how that spreadsheet looks like, or how I made it, y'all can let me know. It's kind of private information though. I think this is something I'm going to be selling with the business package, or the candle business package, or small business package that I'm going to be selling from next year. Every money that came in, I was scared that the car's gonna go away. The car, I need to pay for my car. I lived a very minimal life, I'm not gonna lie. Even when I was employed, I didn't have a lot of financial burdens. I kind of did though, because I needed to recover financially, but like, it was just like, money came in, money came out. I was never poor, but I couldn't see the money. But like, I was good. I don't know if that makes sense. And God is good, guys, because imagine if I didn't have this business in the same situation, what was going to happen? I got so much support from my mother, my mom, guys. Shameless, young tanned. That lady loves me, shame. I got a lot of support from my mom, but like, I didn't really want to depend on my mom, because I was just like, there's no way that God took me from independence to having me depend on my mom again. So I really fought, like, with this business thing. This is why I always coerced you guys to buy my candles, because I need your support on my business for me to buy bread and depend on my share. Thank you. Let me tell you about all the temptations that came through with people wanting to give me money for bums. The devil's always there. It's always there. Those offers always come, especially when you need the money. But obviously I didn't get in, one, because I don't have bums. I don't have bums. And two, it's just not who I am, guys. I understand it's a lot of people's form of income. Asinchachi. That's not who I am, you guys. I obviously always turn those down. But then also what happened is my TikTok started blooming, and that gave me so much exposure. Campaigns started coming in. Campaigns, there's a lot of money sitting in campaigns, and this is why I'm back on YouTube, because I also want YouTube money. Campaigns gave me some money, like it always came through when I wasn't expecting it. Campaigns came with money, but not too much money that it could sustain the living that I have right now. But then again, I just never went poor. Like, there was never a point where I'm like, oh, I'm so stranded. In fact, people who work would borrow money from me, which never made sense to me. It really didn't make sense. Like, I just never understood. Would say, you know damn straight that I'm selling candles in the most expensive city in the country and in the sub-Saharan, yet you ask me for money. Make it make sense. I've got a car to pay for. What do you mean? What do you mean? But also, I understand life is hard, but also it was just always wild for me ukuthi khona umuntu othemba ukuthi mina ngakwazi ukuthi show up for them financially at the phase that I'm in my life right now. I'm honored, but ayikho imali esale ukuthi mina ngikwazi ukuboleka wena leyo mali. It just didn't make sense for me. I know unemployed people tend to have a lot of money, but like, it's grace, I guess. I think it's grace because nothing else makes sense. I turned down a couple of job opportunities because they wouldn't accommodate my studies, and as a result, it's month 10 plus of unemployment. Because the kind of life that I want, I see it out there. I can wave at it, but I can't really touch it. But I think the timing is also fine, like, because if I had that life and also was a full-time student, guys, what I'm studying is quite hard. It needs you to be all in. Like, you can't have your hands in everything. So I wouldn't be able to maintain one of them, and I would rather maintain school and then pursue that life later. At the end of next year, I'll be done with school, and that life that I want will be mine forever. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you think. Do you like your job? Are you thinking of resigning? Would you ever go back to school? And you know, at my age, I'm almost 30, you guys. Would you guys do it at my age? Or would you want to get married, have kids first, and then come back and go back to school? Would you do it full-time? Would you do it part-time? Whichever level. 40, I'm doing my master's, of course. Who doesn't know that? You've been telling us, okay, I'm doing too much. I'm watching Greenleaf for Christian series. That is basically the story of how I resigned without a plan. I'm not here to encourage you to leave school. Don't do it, like, to leave work, even school. Don't leave school. But don't resign without a plan, especially when you don't have a business. My business makes me enough money to sustain myself, and thank God I don't have kids or a husband or anyone to report to. It's just me nokuthanda izinto. Mondliwa umoya ongcwele nje. Mondliwa umoya ongcwele namakhandlela, please. That is how I resigned, guys, and hey, it's not been the most pleasant, but I think the quality of life that I'm living right now is slightly healthier than the one I lived when I was full-time employed. Would I do it again? I would, but I would love to go back to fix my life first, to prepare for this season. It's a stupid question because it's not like it can ever be answered, but maybe advice for you. If you're planning on going back to school full-time and you're full-time employed, it is possible. There's financial assistance, there's bursaries and all of those things. You need to prepare yourself that you're going to do really well, and also save money for his kaftin when in case if financial aid or whatever financial assistance doesn't pay for your entertainment. That's all I can say. Or for your car, like, pay off your financial commitments, debts, or pay them ahead so that when you do leave, it's bearable. That's all I can say. I fought to not go, oh God, Holy Spirit, on it, but I promise you the bigger picture is this is God's purpose for my life. I would definitely do it again because I wouldn't have made it in that life anyway, and I am in a better position right now. It's just not fun in terms of tangible things and entertainment. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.